Every experience in life serves as a lesson, shaping us into who we are meant to become. The past is not a place of residence, but a school that offers valuable insights. Every mistake, every failure, and every painful moment carries knowledge that can guide future decisions. Instead of seeing past struggles as barriers, they should be viewed as stepping stones leading to growth and transformation. Education does not only come from textbooks and classrooms. Life itself is the greatest teacher. The key is to extract wisdom from each experience rather than allowing it to trap us in regret and self-doubt. Many people hold on to their past as if it defines their future. They replay old mistakes, dwell on what could have been, and allow past disappointments to shape their present actions. This mindset limits potential and prevents growth. The truth is, the past is not meant to be a weight that drags us down, but a reference point for improvement. Every successful individual has faced failure, rejection, and setbacks, but their ability to learn from those experiences is what propelled them forward. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is not the absence of failure, but the ability to rise above it. History is filled with examples of people who used their past mistakes as a foundation for future greatness. Thomas Edison, after failing thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, famously said he had not failed, but had found thousands of ways that did not work. This perspective shifts the way we view failure. Instead of seeing it as a sign to give up, it should be seen as feedback, a necessary part of the learning process. Oprah Winfrey was once fired from her first television job, told she was not fit for TV, yet she went on to become one of the most influential media personalities in the world. If she had allowed her past to dictate her future, she would never have realized her full potential. Education is not just about acquiring knowledge, but about applying wisdom. When a person learns from their past, they gain the tools necessary to make better decisions, to avoid repeating the same mistakes, and to navigate challenges with a stronger mindset. The power of the past lies in the lessons it provides, not in the mistakes themselves. Even the most painful experiences can offer insight, resilience, and newfound strength. Pain, failure, and struggle do not define a person. How they respond to these experiences does. Growth happens when a person shifts their perspective from being a victim of their past to being a student of life. Dwelling on the past does not change it, but learning from it changes the future. Each experience carries the potential to teach, transform, and empower. It is not about ignoring or forgetting the past, but about using it as fuel for progress. The past cannot be erased, but its impact on the future can be shaped through wisdom, growth, and intentional action. Growth is a natural part of life, but it requires releasing what no longer serves a purpose. Just as trees shed their leaves in autumn to prepare for new growth in the spring, people must let go of past burdens, regrets, and failures to create space for transformation. Holding on to past mistakes and disappointments is like carrying unnecessary weight on a journey. It slows progress and drains energy that could be used to move forward. True growth happens when the past is no longer a source of limitation, but a foundation for new opportunities. Many people struggle with letting go because they feel attached to the familiarity of past experiences. Even painful memories can feel comfortable when they have been carried for too long. However, comfort does not always lead to progress. A person who refuses to release past disappointments will find themselves reliving the same cycles over and over again. Moving forward requires the courage to break free from what was and embrace what can be. Every person has the potential to evolve, but growth is impossible when energy is focused on what is already gone. Life is constantly changing, and the ability to adapt determines success. Those who hold on to past failures allow them to shape their identity, believing that because they once made a mistake, they are destined to repeat it. However, failure is not a definition. It is an event. Just because something did not work out in the past does not mean the future holds the same outcome. The greatest leaders, inventors, and pioneers in history understood that setbacks were necessary steps toward achievement. They used past experiences as lessons rather than roadblocks, refusing to let previous failures define them. Letting go does not mean ignoring the past. It means acknowledging it, learning from it, and choosing not to let it control the present. Forgiving oneself is a crucial step in this process. Many people struggle with self-forgiveness, replaying old decisions in their minds and wondering how things could have been different. However, no amount of regret can change what has already happened. What matters is what is done with the knowledge gained from those experiences. Growth begins when a person understands that they are not their past mistakes, but rather the wisdom they have acquired from them. The process of moving forward also requires letting go of toxic environments, unhealthy relationships, and limiting beliefs. A person cannot grow in the same space that broke them. Surroundings shape perspective, and if a person remains in an environment that constantly reminds them of their past, they will struggle to see their future. Choosing to move on is a decision to step into a new mindset, one that is focused on possibilities rather than regrets. It takes strength to walk away from what is familiar, but nothing great is built by staying in the same place. Growth happens when a person dares to step outside their comfort zone, release what holds them back, and fully embrace the journey ahead. Life is meant to move forward, but many people find themselves trapped in past experiences, constantly trying to revive situations that no longer serve them. Holding on to old pain, failures, or disappointments is like trying to bring life to something that has already run its course. When energy is spent dwelling on what went wrong, there is little left to invest in what can go right. True progress happens when a person stops giving attention to situations that are no longer relevant to their growth. Growth requires the ability to let go and focus on the opportunities ahead rather than the doors that have already closed. Many people struggle with moving on because they believe that if they analyze the past long enough, they can change it. They revisit old conversations, replay mistakes in their minds, and hold on to relationships that have already proven to be unhealthy. This constant focus on the past drains energy and creates an emotional burden that prevents people from fully experiencing the present. No matter how much a person wishes they could rewrite history, the reality is that the past cannot be changed. The only thing that can be changed is how it is viewed and how much power it is given. When energy is redirected toward building something new, the pain of the past begins to lose its grip. Letting go of past situations is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. It takes courage to accept that some things are meant to stay in the past. People often hold on to painful experiences because they fear that moving on means forgetting or invalidating what happened. However, moving on does not mean erasing the past. It means choosing not to be controlled by it. Every experience, whether good or bad, carries a lesson. The key is to take the wisdom from those experiences and use it to create a better future. Clinging to what is already gone only delays the growth that is waiting to happen. One of the greatest barriers to moving forward is the habit of revisiting old wounds. Just like a physical wound takes longer to heal when it is constantly reopened, emotional wounds cannot heal if they are repeatedly relived. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, energy should be directed toward building a new vision. Life does not wait for anyone, and every day spent dwelling on the past is a day that could have been used to create something better. People often underestimate the power of their own thoughts. When the mind is filled with memories of past failures and disappointments, it becomes difficult to see new possibilities. However, the moment a person stops feeding energy into past situations, they create space for new opportunities to emerge. The past should not be given power over the present. Choosing to focus on what is ahead rather than what is behind is the first step toward transformation. The energy that is wasted trying to revive dead situations can be redirected toward creating a life filled with purpose, success, and fulfillment. Every setback, every failure, and every painful experience has the potential to be the foundation for a powerful comeback. The greatest success stories are not built on a life free from hardship, but on resilience, determination, and the refusal to be defined by past struggles. When faced with adversity, the choice is either to let it break you or to use it as fuel for something greater. The past may have been difficult, but it does not determine the future unless it is allowed to. Instead of dwelling on past mistakes or failures, the focus should be on how those experiences can be transformed into stepping stones toward growth and success. Every challenge carries a lesson that can be used to build a stronger foundation for the future. The most successful people in history have all faced rejection, failure, and setbacks, but they understood that their struggles were not the end of their journey. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he finally invented the light bulb. Yet he did not see those failures as defeats. Instead, he saw them as steps that led him to success. Similarly, Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television early in her career, yet she refused to accept that as her truth and instead built an empire. These individuals did not let their past define them. They used it as motivation to prove that their story was far from over. Moving forward after failure requires a shift in mindset. Instead of seeing the past as a barrier, it must be viewed as preparation for what is to come. Every disappointment, every heartbreak, and every mistake has the potential to build resilience. Life is not about avoiding struggles, but about learning how to overcome them. The moment a person stops seeing their past as a burden and starts seeing it as preparation, their entire perspective shifts. Challenges become opportunities, failures become lessons, and setbacks become setups for something greater. The ability to rise after falling is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who give up. Every great story has moments of difficulty, but those moments do not define the ending. What defines the ending is the decision to keep going despite the obstacles. The past may have been painful, but it does not hold power over the future unless it is given that power. Strength is built through struggle, and the lessons learned from past experiences provide the tools needed to succeed. The past is not a place to live. It is a place to learn. Once the lessons are understood, the focus must shift toward what lies ahead. A comeback is always possible, no matter how many times a person has failed. The only way to truly be defeated is to stop trying. The past has already happened, and it cannot be changed, but what happens next is still within control. The choice to rise, to push forward, and to use past experiences as a source of strength is what leads to true transformation. Every setback has the potential to be the beginning of a greater comeback. Excuses and regret are two of the biggest obstacles that prevent people from reaching their full potential. Excuses create limitations, convincing people that they are powerless to change their circumstances. Regret keeps them trapped in the past, replaying missed opportunities and mistakes instead of focusing on what can be done in the present. Both act as invisible chains, keeping individuals stuck in the same place rather than moving forward toward growth and success. The only way to truly progress is to recognize that excuses are a form of self-sabotage, and regret serves no purpose unless it leads to action. Moving forward requires taking full ownership of the present and refusing to let the past dictate the future. Many people make excuses because they fear failure, rejection, or discomfort. They tell themselves they are not smart enough, not talented enough, or that the right opportunities will never come their way. These thoughts become self-fulfilling prophecies, shaping reality to match their beliefs. The truth is, people who succeed are not necessarily the most talented or the most privileged. They are simply the ones who refuse to be held back by excuses. Instead of focusing on what they lack, they focus on what they can control and take action despite uncertainty. They understand that growth happens outside of comfort zones, and that waiting for the perfect moment only leads to wasted time. Regret is another powerful force that can prevent progress. Many people look back on their lives and dwell on what could have been, wishing they had made different choices or taken different paths. They replay past failures and lost opportunities, allowing those memories to consume their thoughts. The problem with regret is that it keeps people stuck in a place that no longer exists. The past cannot be changed, no matter how much time is spent thinking about it. The only way to overcome regret is to shift the focus from what is lost to what can still be achieved. Every day presents a new opportunity to make better choices, to learn from past mistakes, and to build a better future. Taking responsibility for the future means recognizing that excuses and regret are wasted energy. Energy should be invested in solutions rather than problems, in possibilities rather than limitations. People who achieve greatness are those who acknowledge their past, but refuse to be defined by it. They learn from their mistakes, adapt, and keep moving forward. They do not wait for the perfect conditions to take action. They create opportunities through persistence and discipline. Excuses and regret may feel like valid reasons to remain stagnant, but they ultimately serve no purpose other than to delay progress. True success comes from accepting what has happened, learning from it, and using that knowledge to fuel forward momentum. The past is gone, and the only thing that matters now is what is done with the time that remains. The future is shaped by decisions made today, and every moment is an opportunity to move closer to personal growth and fulfillment. The way a person thinks determines the direction of their life. If the mindset remains trapped in past failures, disappointments, or limitations, progress becomes impossible. Growth and success require a shift in thinking, a willingness to let go of old perspectives perspectives, and an openness to new possibilities. The same thoughts that led to past struggles cannot create a better future. Transformation begins when a person recognizes that the way they perceive themselves, their abilities, and their opportunities plays a significant role in shaping their reality. If the goal is to move forward, the mind must be trained to focus on what is ahead rather than what has already happened. Many people unknowingly sabotage their own success because they continue to approach life with outdated beliefs. They convince themselves that past failures define them, that certain opportunities are out of reach, or that they are not capable of achieving greatness. These limiting beliefs act as invisible barriers, preventing them from stepping into their full potential. The truth is, success does not start with external circumstances. It starts with the way a person thinks. When the mind is conditioned to see possibilities rather than obstacles, challenges become opportunities for growth instead of reasons to give up. The only difference between those who rise above difficulties and those who remain stuck is their ability to control their thoughts and beliefs. The past may have contained mistakes, but that does not mean those mistakes need to be repeated. Learning from past experiences is essential, but dwelling on them and expecting the same negative outcomes only reinforces self-doubt. Every person has the ability to change the course of their life, but it requires a conscious decision to think differently. Instead of focusing on past failures, the focus should be on solutions. Instead of thinking about what went wrong, attention should be given to what can be done better moving forward. A new mindset creates new results, and new results lead to new opportunities. When the mind is trained to expect success rather than failure, actions naturally align with that expectation. People who believe in their ability to succeed take different actions than those who doubt themselves. They seek opportunities, push through challenges, and remain persistent despite obstacles. They do not allow the past to dictate their future because they understand that change is always possible. The only requirement is the willingness to let go of old ways of thinking and embrace a mindset of growth, resilience, and determination. No one can move forward while carrying the weight of an old mindset. Just as a new journey requires new tools, a new chapter in life requires a renewed way of thinking. Every great achievement begins with a shift in perspective, a refusal to remain stuck in past patterns, and a commitment to seeing possibilities where others see limitations. The mind is the most powerful tool for transformation, and the moment it aligns with the vision of success, the future begins to take shape. The key to winning today is choosing to think in a way that creates a better tomorrow. There comes a moment in life when we must decide, do we remain prisoners of what once was, or do we step boldly into the future that awaits us? Too many of us are carrying burdens that were never meant to be permanent. We replay past mistakes, hold on to pain, and let regrets shape our identity. But hear me when I say this. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are not your struggles. You are something greater, something destined for more. God did not place you on this earth to live in chains. He did not give you a new day so that you could keep reliving old wounds. The same breath of life that wakes you up every morning is proof that your story is not over yet. There is still purpose in you, still greatness within you, still a future waiting for you to claim it. But you will never step into that future if you keep looking back at a past that no longer serves you. Think about this. When you drive a car, the windshield is wide and open, giving you a clear view of where you are going, while the rear view mirror is small because you are only meant to glance at what's behind you, not focus on it. But too many of us are living life in reverse, staring at the past and wondering why we keep crashing into the same problems. It's time to shift your focus. It's time to break free. It's time to move on. This message is for the dreamer who gave up because of past failures. It's for the brokenhearted who stopped believing in love. It's for the one who feels unworthy because of past mistakes. I'm here to tell you, God's grace is bigger than your past. Your purpose is bigger than your pain, and the life ahead of you is waiting for you to let go of what's behind you. So today, right here, right now, make the decision. Let go of the weight. Release the pain. Stop giving life to what has already passed, because the moment you do, you will feel something powerful rise within you. The strength to step forward, the courage to chase your dreams, and the faith to believe that the best is yet to come. Stay with me until the end of this message, because today is not just another day. It is the beginning of your breakthrough. Let's go.